Hi, this is Jackie.
This is Jason.
And this is Home Bodies Only, where we welcome all bodies to join us as we break down and dissect HBO Max series. And this episode, we are talking about The White Lotus, Season 3, Episode 4, Hide or Seek. Okay, let's get into it. I have my summary from ToonFind.com. Looking for a change of scenery, Jacqueline drags the girls to a neighboring resort on Valentine's suggestion, but fails to find the young party vibe she hoped for. On Chloe's boyfriend's luxury yacht, Piper asks for Lachlan's support before sharing a life update with the family. And Rick finally opens up to Chelsea about his past.
I have a suggestion when we get to who's the shooter later. I'm thinking it should be more of a Deadpool. And
Who's going to die?
Because we don't know. I mean, we can take guesses at the shooter, but we can also take guesses on who's going to...
Yeah.
We have some more clues this time around.
Also, not just who's the shooter, but some other underlying storylines. Yeah, we got.
Oh, I have lots of suspicions.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, me too.
I also... can I share my alternate titles that I came up...
Sure.
I'm just going to state up front, I was a little frustrated with this episode. Oh. I felt like... I get frustrated when these types of things happen. So my alternate titles will probably give you a clue. So I have a list. Stupid Americans, dumb rich people doing dumb rich people things, jungle fools, lost in Thailand, parental negligence, but why? And also... what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, that's a good one.
When we get to the negative, when we get to the dislikes, You have
a lot of hate.
I got words.
Okay.
All right.
So let's start with the love.
What did you love this week?
Chelsea. When Chloe says, Chelsea's my best friend and I only met her 2 days ago. And she kind of says it in the background. That's why I thought it was even funnier. The view from the boat ride. I did love that. Chelsea quoting The Princess Bride after Rick tells her why he's going to, to Bangkok. And
my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah, that was great. How did Belinda never hear about Tanya dying? Right. Oh, this is not, I don't know why I put this here for a love. Oh yeah, this is my sarcastic love. How did Belinda never hear about Tanya dying right near the White Lotus in Italy? How did she never hear? She works for White Lotus. I guess that was my sarcastic love.
I'm thinking the White Lotus is some sort of all-powerful organization that has these stories quashed. Otherwise, no one would go there.
No one would go there. I know, we talked about that.
Yes. Yeah. They hope you can survive your holiday at the White Lotus. Why?
Survive or thrive.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what it is. This they should have called this season Survivor.
Yes.
People are in the jungle. They may not make it.
Yeah.
All right. So is that all? Okay. What else did you love?
Those were just my loves. Those were it. I got a lot of fashion stuff, I feel like.
Okay. I have some brief loves. And then I'll get to the hate part. I adore Chelsea. Like she's the voice of reason. She also seems like she knows she's in a TV show where someone is going to die. Because she's like, this is like some Final Destination stuff. Like I'm, like 3 times the charm. I've already had 2 brushes with death. And yeah, we know. We were talking about it. We discussed this. But we'll talk more about her later when it comes to, the Deadpool. And then I also really like Amarita, the therapist with Rick. She's so lovely.
Yeah.
Like you would tell that woman anything. So now I have a long list of grievances with this episode that I'd like to voice because I hate just in general. I have a pet peeve when there's a plot that requires the characters to do stupid things in order for the plot to happen. When they have to be totally illogical and have no survival skills or self-awareness whatsoever, that you're like, the dramatic irony is just too high. So here's what I came up with hates. First of all, blanket nonsensical behavior for everyone. Gay talk, leaves a gun on his desk like a moron who's never seen a gun before. I also hate the two idiots who gave him a gun after telling him he was incompetent. Like, you know what? You're really not that great at this job. You let those guys go right by. Here's a firearm.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Like, honestly, okay. And then the Ratliffs, this family of wankers who lets 2/3 of their offspring go to a strange place in a foreign country with a bunch of strangers
Yeah.
without any means of contact.
Right.
Dumb.
No way.
Just
Yeah.
dumb. I also generally hate Saxon and how he's awful to his siblings and his overt attempts to get laid. Tim Silence, his developing drug problem, not talking to his family, waiting way too late to talk to his lawyer because he had his phone taken away from him.
Yeah.
Also, forgetting to wear anything under his robe. That was.
I saw that coming.
Yeah,
I was like,
I didn't.
oh,
I didn't need to see that coming. I'll put it that way.
no. No.
Also, the girls' trip ladies going off with Valentine and his friends, who are obviously up to no good because Jacqueline is having some sort of a midlife crisis, and also Greg/Gary being way too dense and or apathetic to realize his girlfriend is planning to cheat on him with some douche she met in Thailand. Lastly, I have Rick going to meet his father's murderer because A, does he know if it's really true, and B, what could possibly go wrong?
Go wrong. Yes.
Or, and this is a bit of intrigue for later, is that his father? Is it a Darth Vader situation? Spoilers for Star Wars, 1977.
Right.
But could his enemy also be his father?
I think anything goes.
Dun dun dun. What did you hate? I know that was a
Okay.
long list.
I have seeing Mr. Ratliff's penis. I was like, oh my God. Traumatized. Why does Victoria put down her purse at all on a yacht or wherever they're on? Why would you? There's no way in real life I would never do that. I'd be like, bink, it's right. It'd be across me. I'd have one of those like body ones attached to me. Especially when she's not sure if they're decent people.
Are they decent people? And he's like, yeah, they're
people.
rich. Just a dumbass.
Oh God, I just kept getting so uncomfortable when Tim takes Victoria pill bottle again. Why did she take her whole prescription pill bottle with her? Did she need the whole thing? Couldn't she have taken one before she left? How long did these pills last? Like,
just in case she wanted, I don't know, commit suicide while she was.
I know. I mean, like, how was that?
Also, here's another one. Why doesn't she suspect him?
I know.
She knows he's taken at least one pill. He's been totally out of it, behaving weird. Like,
I know.
He's the only one who knows where they are.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Could this woman not add?
I know. Well, I don't know. She's on something apparently all the time. Did you notice or hear? I have the closed captions on so I can see what they're saying. Saxon walks up over to the young ladies on the boat and actually says swastika, like swastika. It's spelled like that. He's saying sadika, I can't remember, swadika, something like that. And anytime anybody else said it, it was spelled the way they were saying it. It said, I should have taken a picture of it. It said swastika. I was like, what?
I think it's just to show his ignorance.
Yes, I agree. So that happened. Okay, again, I hate Greg. How come? Okay, here's a piece of intrigue, and maybe we could talk about that later. How come Greg gets to go to the White Lotus and he's not a guest? Because remember when the ladies go to the other hotel and those two women are speaking to them and they said, we wanted to see the White Lotus, but you can't go in there unless you're a guest.
I think he's probably a member. He's probably like signed up. He's got like some sort of membership kind of thing. Do you think?
I have another theory.
It's because, it's like a Soho House or something like that where people have a membership.
Think
so. Okay.
I think there's another tie, but I'll say it later.
Okay. We'll get to that later.
Okay, you did your hates. The only I can relate, I was like, I don't really have anything. This is so little, but when Jacqueline's on her phone and they're like, Jack. When my friends or anybody gets like annoyed with me, they call me Jack. They don't call me Jack. Well, it's really my husband. He'll go, Jack. So I was like, oh, that's familiar. So I can relate to that.
Yeah, the only thing I wrote under I could relate is I too have also done stupid things. That's the only thing I wrote.
Okay. Okay.
But it really is like a big old heaping helping of stupid for all of
Mm-hmm.
these people. And it bothers me as a writer because like you want to sympathize with these characters, but I lose sympathy when they
Yeah.
do things that don't make sense. Also, I lived in New York City for over 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and just like
Yeah.
who does that? Who would do that with their kids? Are you nuts?
I think that part of it is Tim there was just so high or whatever's happening and so in some sort of state of shock that he just was like, whatever, I got to get out of here. And
But even the kids themselves, like they're young, but they're like young adults. Like when they say, "Hey, you know what? Let me get my phone just in case I get lost and I need to GPS my way back, or I need to call somebody, or I have an emergency, or I get bit by a snake." You
Saxon's
know,
thinking with his pee pee.
yeah, I don't know that that guy has a thought that generates from above the wing.
From both ways.
I have a feeling the only sort of savable one in the family is the daughter.
Piper, yeah.
Yeah.
And the dad knows that too because he cried when he looked at her at dinner time, right? Wasn't that
Oh
dinner?
my God.
Or on the boat.
All right. So yeah, there's so much to talk about in terms of Tim and the firearm. We did see a preview after the
Yeah.
episode that Gay Talk is going to confront him. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
You could literally knock yourself out hitting yourself in the forehead when you think about the actions of these people.
Yeah.
Like Jacqueline and the girls, right? You know, the girls' trip. Let's go have like, okay, you can go have fun, but don't go with somebody you barely know to a place you don't know in a foreign country where you don't speak the language whatsoever. And you think she's an actress, right?
Yeah.
Coming up in LA, you don't think she's dealt with all kinds of
Oh,
situations?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There are so many vipers in that world that try to take advantage of women, especially young
Yeah.
women. Like you'd think she. So that's just kind of what gets me because when it stops making sense, when people have to be so dumb in order for the plot to happen, you lose me. You
Mm.
know. And I
Okay.
just I'm like I'm out of the movie at this point. So we did I Can Relate. Now
We
we're
got fashion.
on the fashion section. Okay, I didn't really have anything for fashion except I love everything Chloe wears.
That's my first one is Chloe's bathing suit and skirt, and it was custom made. I'm not a big pink girl. I really don't have a ton of pink, but I loved this baby pink. So it's custom made, so you can't even get it by Jacquemus. I don't know, Jacquemus.
I mean,
Yeah.
it probably helps to look like her if you're going to wear it.
Well, I can. Yeah, I look like her. Okay. I also loved Kate's dress when they get attacked by the water guns. It is shows her midriff. I mean, again, not a lot of people could pull this off. It's very 70s. It's like a halter top. It has a gold circle. I think it's gold circle in the middle and long. It's maxi. It's a long dress. It's like a paisley pattern. That is, of course, expensive. It's on Covety.com. Oh, by Aimee. They have a lot. Oh, it's $471 and it's out of stock. Yeah.
Why wouldn't it fly off the shelf at that price?
Exactly. I found a similar-ish. It was really hard. Like a solid colored with the midi, with the opening, more covering up, but not that pattern, not even close. So I don't know. Then Piper's printed dress that you don't see the whole thing. I knew at dinner. It was at dinner, and it's like a high neck. It kind of looks a little paisley. It has orange, peach colors, and cream. I had a feeling it was a pretty dress, and when I went on, I think probably Shop Your TV, it is a beautiful long dress. It's gorgeous. And that, how much is that one? It's on theoutnet.com by Zimmerman, and it's down from $850 to $510. I mean, what a steal. And then I'm kind of found a similar-ish one, but not really. It's not the same. It's not the same. Okay. My last part, I do have a hate fashion, but okay. So one of the last scenes, Victoria at dinner, wearing this. It just looks like a very soft material, kind of gauzy. It's off the shoulder. It's like a peach orange, I'm like, oh, that's pretty. What is that? Well, I went nuts. I'm like Google lensing it. Not kidding. What comes up is like a bunch of Buddhist monks with their orange wraps on them. That's what comes up on the Google lens. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not it. So, and I'm putting in dress. So then I post it in Shop Your TV on Facebook. And the one who's always responding, Aaron, there said, I could not find this. Like, I could not find it. So then I tried one on TV. I was like getting so stuck on this. So I do it again. I'm like Google lensing off my computer, everything. It brings me to an Instagram account named Rachel Comey. She has like 149,000 followers. And she says, oh, yeah, Parker Posey in the bubble lace. And I'm like, bubble lace. So I'm like Googling bubble lace dress. I'm like looking and looking and looking. Finally, so I'm like, Rachel Comey has something to do with this outfit. I couldn't figure it out. Finally, when was this? Was it this morning? I think it was this morning. I just Google Victoria Ratliff's outfits in season 3, The White Lotus. Well, voila, this website called Femme Estella comes up, and it shows her wearing the orange, quote unquote, which we thought dress. And I find it, and it is by Rachel Comey. She's the designer. It's on therealreal.com. And it is a 2-piece set. It is a top and pants. I really think she was wearing the top maybe in a bigger size as a dress, because I swear you can see her bare legs. She is wearing this outfit in the next episode, because it continues to the same night. So I'm like going crazy. But I actually found it. You don't understand how excited I was about this darn thing. And again, I'm not going to buy it. I'm just so psyched I found it. It's 25% off. It's $273.75. And I guess that's what it's called bubble lace.
It's funny that there aren't like more pieces that you can't find that are just made by the costume department.
Yeah.
So I guess I mean, I think for costumes in general, I'm not going to say which is easier or harder, but it's very different when you do a contemporary show as opposed to like a period piece.
Right.
Because period piece, sometimes you go hunting for vintage pieces.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can find them, sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
And most of the time, what they'll do is recreate the vintage piece.
I've noticed on a lot of these, well, at least a lot of the HBO shows we've watched, they are things you can find. And I think like that's purposeful, so people will buy them, obviously. I want to say the hate was Alexei. That was one of the friends of Valentine's. Black shirt with the gold like wings on it. And even somebody said something like, nice shirt.
They're like, wow.
I think it was Lori. Was it? I don't know.
Wow.
So that was great.
All right. So do we want to get into
who's the shooter?
The suspicions?
Suspicions.
So we got another gun.
Yeah.
Now that's a very small gun.
Right.
And I'm thinking it probably makes I don't know, I want to say it's probably got like a 6 to 8 shot clip in it. It doesn't sound like a rifle that I know of. We do know at the end of this episode that Tim has the gun. I had a really dark thought about that. So Tim says to his lawyer, I would rather die.
Die. Yes, I know.
So yep. We're thinking the gun is possible, like he's going to kill himself.
Yes, and maybe kill his family.
But, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is he one of those family annihilators?
Right.
Which is an awful thought and very dark for this show.
But I thought of it too.
Okay. All right. So I'm not the only one.
You're not alone.
I'm not the only one.
No.
But, yeah, I hope it's not that.
Because it said we're poor now. Like, I feel like, and he was looking around at his family and, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
He would be leaving them poor if he just kills himself.
Unless he's got a great life insurance policy. You know, maybe that's what he's thinking, too. Like, maybe he's very well insured and they'll all get what.
Can you really get, like, if your assets are, like, all that stuff? I don't know. Does life insurance kick in?
I mean, if you have enough, you know, if you've got, you know, millions in life insurance, maybe it works. I don't know. You know, that's kind of outside of my purview.
Yeah.
But God, that is so dark. Like, I hope that's not what happens for this show.
Yeah.
I think the mood of the show, the tone of the show is a little bit too light for that sort of thing. But damn.
I always want to call Gary Glenn Gary Glenn Ross, and I don't know why. It's the Gary thing. It's just, Okay, so here's my thing with Greg. Greg worked for Bureau of Land Management, right? I did look. I know he did talk about that in the first season, and I forgot. And I was like, "Is that real?" It is real. Then also the dude who owns it, who's in Bangkok, the land. It's if they're trying to protect the land, this hotel is on this land. I feel like Greg and this hotel owner. That's why I'm saying I think there's a tie there with the two of them. I don't know what exactly, but I feel like there's something with the two of them because why would he be at this White Lotus? And like I said, the woman said only guests are allowed to come there. And I don't know. I think there's something with him and.
I have some other theories as well. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. I don't know who's going to die. I have theories. I think Chelsea might be safe just because they called it out. Just because she said third time's a charm, I was like, okay, so that's a little too obvious now. They're kind of hanging a lampshade on it and saying, we know, like we know your suspicions, and it's not going to happen. And my Deadpool, my money, I'm thinking probably Gay Talk is gonna,
Yeah,
and
I
I
feel like
think
it too.
he's just too good for this world, and I think Belinda probably.
Mm,
She knows too much, and her son
yeah.
was so concerned about her. In terms of suspects, Gary Gregg is just totally creepy and weird, and he's Googling Belinda in the dark. That's never a good sign. Also, Valentine and his mates, okay? So Valentine, we know, was distracting Gay Talk when the truck drove in to rob the jewelry store. Obviously, those two friends are the guys who robbed the jewelry store.
That's what I was thinking, but I was trying to also look at their build. I don't know.
I mean, well, we didn't see one of them.
Right.
There was a tall guy and the other guy.
Oh no, it was yeah.
The shorter guy could have been the
Shorter
one.
guy could have been him
Could have
or
been
a
him, and
security
the other
guard.
guy could
Yep.
have been the driver. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think I think if that's true, then see that's also disappointing because that feels obvious to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's like, what do you need? Cliff notes? Come on, people. Like,
Yeah.
have you not seen a movie before? This is
Yeah.
the way it works.
Yeah.
But they might, it might be a thing like they're playing into that trope and
Right.
letting, it could be a red herring. But also, that's what gets me so frustrated. Like, why would you trust that guy? Like that Valentine, why would you trust him? I know he works for the hotel, but like once you're going off campus, you're on your own.
Well, here's what's interesting too. You know how he sends them to this hotel with all these old people and it's a bad vibe and all that. And my husband asked me, he goes, why would he send them there? And it dawned on me tonight. I go, because he knew they would hate it and want to go somewhere else, and then he would meet up with them. I think that was totally planned. There's no way he was like, "Oh yeah, go over there."
I think he probably gets kickbacks from that other hotel on the side.
Oh, I don't know.
This guy has a number of side hustles going at all times.
Oh, and also a little bit of foreshadowing when Jacqueline says, "This hotel is dead," and I was like, "Oh." Oh, and I don't know what this means or what it could mean, but I did see a little thing on TikTok, a little clip. Someone was showing a clip from season 1, episode 2, called "New Day," and it's Tanya after she has her session with Belinda, and she happened to have fallen asleep, and she says she dreamt about being in a house on top of a mountain range in Asia. Da, 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 da. So what does that mean?
Well, that's where Greg lives. Doesn't he live
No, I
on top of
know.
the mountain in Asia? So in Thailand?
Yeah, but I don't think no, but she didn't know that. I don't think that was
Maybe I don't know.
no.
Maybe that's some kind
No,
of
that was totally yeah.
it.
I think they connect things on purpose. I really
Yeah,
don't think that she knew
there's
that.
definitely
I can't remember where
callbacks
he
and
said he.
stuff to the other seasons. All right, so we talked about Belinda. Why did she not know about Jennifer Coolidge dying in Italy and the suspicious death surrounding the circumstances? We know that she knows that Gary Gregg was the husband, and now she also found out that he's wanted for questioning, and he just took off,
Yeah.
which does not scream, I'm innocent. And, he might do anything to cover that up. But again, it comes back down to the amount of shots that we hear at the end. Like we get, I think it's like almost 15 gunshots. And that sounds like somebody either trying to kill a lot of people or multiple guns firing at each other. So, what's that about? But like, we also don't know if, so the only thing we see of the shooting is in the very first part of the very first episode, right? We don't know if that's the end.
Right. Because
that
they're
could
only
just be
on,
an incident.
Because, well, we don't know how many days Zion was there, because Zion's coming tomorrow. I mean, it doesn't mean that tomorrow I doubt the day he comes is the day he's having the meditation. And all
it's
that
probably
stuff.
like the next day or something like that.
It's got to be like the next day. So,
yeah,
and it's like, and the show is 8 episodes?
Yeah, so, and we're halfway through, right?
Yep.
This is episode 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't know, but we don't know exactly when that particular incident happens.
Right. We don't know what day it is of there.
Or here's another wild theory. When the gunshots start, maybe somebody who's devious uses that to kill somebody else in the fray.
Oh, my goodness.
Because all the noise and confusion and everything, it's like bashing somebody on the head with a rock in the middle of an earthquake. Who's going to know that it wasn't the earthquake?
Giving me really good ideas. No, we don't really have it.
I've seen a lot of movies, but like, yeah. So I mean, it could very. We have another. So far we've seen 2 guns. I don't think either one of those is the murder weapon.
No.
But they are definitely foreshadowing, and we've had plenty of talk of guns, plenty of talk of death.
The water guns even.
Yeah, then we had water guns and lots of water too.
Yes.
And the person, remember the person who gets shot floats. The body floats in the water. So it's all, I mean, one could say it's a wee bit heavy-handed with the foreshadowing. This episode was a little bit disappointing, in my opinion, just because of everybody, it's like everybody took stupid pills before they went out that day. I'm not crazy about that.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed too, because I was like, okay. And I was I was glad we found out why Rick was there, but I was like, wow, I feel like he gave away too much information. Like, it almost was better not knowing what he was doing, and I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see if we see that scene play out, because remember, the man that he wants to confront has just recently had a stroke.
Yeah.
So like, he could be like, who knows what state that guy's in.
Yeah.
He could be yelling at a vegetable at this point. He could be,
Yeah.
confronting a guy who doesn't know his own name. We don't know how bad he is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that bad, because the wife wasn't that distraught.
Right.
We did not see hide nor hair of her this episode.
Nope.
It'll be interesting to see if she pops up during that scene when they in Bangkok. But yeah, so yeah, a little bit disappointed, a little bit put out by this one, but I'm hoping it gets better in terms of that. I just, I also have a very sensitive, sort of empathetic, part of me, that when I see characters go down this road, I'm just like, oh, don't do that. Like, I'm yelling at the television. All right, so you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I guess that's it. I have all the links and everything in the description where you can find everything.
Don't forget, you can find us on the Patreon, patreon.com/BTRP Media. That is a hub for all of our programming, including Homebodies Only, Made with Jackie Hensel, No Rest for the Weekend, and many, many other programs. And there's even exclusive content for those of you who want to become paid members. So definitely follow us there. You can get all the videos. Some you'll be able to get early. We just launched it, so we're going to be offering more and more. So get in early while the getting's good.
Bye, everybody.
Till next time.
This is the BTRP Media Network.